right, let's get right into it. Because what we're about to talk about, well, it could genuinely change how you think about the rest of your life. We're going to unpack the real scientific secret to not just adding years to your life, but adding life to your years. So here's a question for you. What if I told you that the biggest key to a long, healthy life isn't on your dinner plate and it's not at the gym? What if it's all about what you decide to stop carrying around with you? And look, this isn't just some nice, feel-good idea. We're talking about one of the longest, most in-depth studies of human life ever done. For 85 years, think about that, Harvard researchers followed people's entire lives, and they found a clear, undeniable answer. So, what's with this number? 7.5. That's how many extra years of life the study discovered people gained on average. You heard that right. An extra 7.5 years on this planet just from releasing one specific type of burden. So today, we're going to count down the top 8 things that science says you can and should let go of after 60, and we're building up to that number one thing that makes all the difference. But before we start our countdown, we have to meet the villain of this story, cortisol. You see, every single time you worry, your body pumps out this stress hormone. And when that happens day after day, it hammers your immune system, it breaks down muscle, it literally makes your cells age faster. The science is crystal clear. To manage your aging, you've got to manage your worries. Okay, let's kick off the countdown. We're starting with the world around us, those external things we worry about. Let's get to number 8. Coming in at number 8 is the need for a perfectly clean house. Now, this is fascinating. Research shows that obsessing over a spotless home actually jacks up your stress hormones more than just living with a little bit of mess. In fact, families who decided to focus on just enjoying their home instead of constantly scrubbing it reported being 47% happier. So here's the trick. Set a timer for 30 minutes of cleaning. When it dings, you're done. That one little change can slash daily anxiety by almost 30%. All right, at number 7 is that constant, nagging pressure to keep up with all the new technology. You know the feeling, right? All the apps, the gadgets, the updates, it's exhausting. Well, guess what? The science says you can relax. The healthiest approach is what they call selective engagement. You don't have to be an expert in everything. And this number just proves it. A study found that older adults who picked just a few pieces of tech that actually made their lives better, like learning how to video call the grandkids, were 52% more satisfied with their lives than the people who tried to learn every single new thing that came out. It's all about quality, not quantity. Now for number 6, and this one is about letting go of the fight against getting older. Instead of looking at wrinkles or gray hair as something to fix, research tells us to try and see them for what they are. Proof of a life that's been lived, a story that's been told. And this isn't just some nice thought, it has a massive impact on your health. Just look at this chart. Women who truly accepted the signs of aging had depression rates that were an incredible 61% lower than those who were constantly fighting it. Your attitude about aging might just be one of the most powerful antidepressants there is. Okay, so we've looked at the outside world. Now we're going to move inward, into our own minds. We're going to tackle the thought patterns that create so much of our stress. Let's look at numbers 5 and 4. Number 5, letting go of those minor daily hassles. The traffic jam, the person with too many items in the express lane. Look at the difference in how your body reacts. Getting angry spikes inflammation, a major cause of disease by 40%. But if you practice what scientists call the mental shrug, you actually cut the release of stress hormones by 27%. Every time you choose to let a small thing go, you are literally rewiring your brain to be calmer. And at number 4, we've got a big one. Letting go of past mistakes and regrets. When we replay our regrets over and over, we keep our body locked in a state of stress. But here's the good news. Researchers gave us a simple, powerful tool. This 3-step exercise doesn't change the past, obviously, but it changes its meaning. It turns it from a source of pain into a source of strength. So, does it really work? Oh yeah. People who did this simple reframing exercise regularly cut their regret-related stress and second-guessing by 52%. Think about that. That's half of your mental energy freed up to focus on today. Okay, next up, we're shifting our focus to other people. This next section is all about the stress that comes from our relationships and how we interact with the world. Let's dive into numbers 3 and 2. At number 3, giving up the need to be right all the time. This table just lays it out so perfectly. When winning the argument is your top priority, relationship satisfaction tanks. But when feeling connected is what matters most, well, one study found those relationships were 73% more likely to last. So you have to ask yourself in that moment, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? And coming in hot at number 2 is worrying about what other people think of you. Let me introduce you to your new best friend, the spotlight effect. It's a real psychological thing. Research found that we all think people are paying way more attention to our flaws and mistakes than they actually are, like 2 to 3 times more. The reality? Most people are just busy thinking about themselves. That spotlight you feel, it's mostly in your own head. Okay, we've gone from 8 all the way down to 2. We've talked about your house, technology, aging, little frustrations, big regrets, arguments, all of it. But none of those things, not even close, have the same impact on your life as this final one. This is it. This is the one that 85-year Harvard study pointed to as the single biggest factor for a long and healthy life. This is the one that changes everything. The number one thing to let go of is toxic relationships. And the data here is just jaw-dropping. The Harvard study confirmed it's the number one predictor. Other research shows these kinds of draining relationships can increase your risk of heart disease by 34% and can literally cause up to 10 years of extra aging on a cellular level. Your body is keeping score. And that's why setting boundaries or even walking away isn't selfish. It is a vital act of self-preservation, one that's proven to boost your well-being by 41% in just 6 months. So we've gone through the whole list. What's the big idea here? What's the one thing that ties all of this together? It's actually pretty simple. The common thread is that your time and your energy are finite. They're the most valuable things you have, and every bit of that energy you spend worrying about a perfect house, or a past mistake, or a person who drains you, is energy you can't invest in your health, your happiness, and the people who lift you up. Mastering the art of letting go really is just mastering the art of wisely investing in yourself. So, I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. Looking at your own life beyond our list today, what's one thing you have finally let go of that made everything feel lighter and better? Taking a moment to recognize your own strength, well, that's the final and maybe most important step.